Hey everybody, it's Mike. I'm back, and got to talk about a predator alert in Australia, and we want to talk about the predator alert in Australia. So let me get right to the opening. Hello.
Hello.
Okay, so yeah, there's some stuff going on in Australia right now, and I wanted to make a video about it because I feel like it's important that uh, people should know when there's predators around. And I'm sure the predator is not just, who knows. We'll get to it. But let me show you where this is happening. So this is happening in Australia, and it just goes to show that nothing's changed. The same people are in charge. The same people are running ISKCON, these Krishna cults. It's the same people. It's the same philosophy. It's the same books. It's the same message, and it's the same child abuse, the same predatory behavior, the same covering up, just like Prabhupada covered up. Prabhupada covered it all up. If you talk to a lot of the devotees back then that were around back then, they're like, we didn't know anything was going on. We didn't know children. Well, yeah, because they covered it up. Prabhupada didn't want anyone to know that his schools were full of pedophiles abusing children. Dallas, New York, L.A., Vrindavan, Mayapur. So many children were molested. So many devotees are like, I didn't know. We didn't know. We didn't know. The fuck you didn't know? You drop your kids off at a friggin' school and then go halfway around the world to go play Hare Krishna? You don't know what's happening to your children? Or you don't care what's happening to your children? Fucking disgusting. So many. My friend Radhakund, he tells me, my children, I don't know. Because they don't think they're kids. That's not my kids. It's just temporary. Prabhupada has them brainwashed into thinking that that's not their child. That you can just go dump them off at a school and go run off to India and play Hare Krishna. And that's perfectly okay. Or take your kid and stick them in a school in India. These children will deserve a lot better than that. They covered that shit up. And they continue to cover that shit up to this day. They don't report crimes. They don't report abuse. People walk right into this cult with their children and don't even know that there's child abusers and predators in their community. Probably the person that they're talking to. Maybe even the person that brought them in, that sold them a book. It's the guy that's molesting kids. The guy in the school, the teachers. The teacher's aide, like my daughter. The teacher's fucking aide. And then when they have a chance to do something, do the right thing, they can't do that. They just can't. They just can't. They were pissed off that I called the police. They were pissed off that I was making a scene. So then they had to blame my daughter, blame me. Because they don't want to turn people in. They don't want to bring negative. They want everyone to think everything is just fine. It's the happiest place on earth. And all those miserable people are in on it. Just like that lady who was being abused by her husband every single day. She's on the internet talking about how great he is because she's got to keep up this friggin' facade. It blows my mind. But when I found out, it was weird how she was always defending him and talking about how great he was and this and that. And that shit's just not normal. It's just not normal. And then she comes clean years later and says, yeah, he was beating me the whole time. She was scared to death of this guy. And yet she's brainwashed, doesn't think she can leave. It is disgusting, this cult. People out there that don't know anything about Hare Krishna, you have no idea how fucking disgusting. How they have people spiritually brainwashed, spiritually prisoners of their own mental breakdown. Just like the $1 billion contract and freeloader debt and all these things that keep Scientologists brainwashed into thinking that they have nowhere to go. It's the same thing with Hare Krishna. People get in there and they're thinking, oh, it's no big deal. And after a while, they don't realize. I didn't realize. I did not realize how friggin' trapped I was by my own friggin' mind, by their fucking bullshit books and bullshit teachings. I know firsthand what I'm talking about. It's no different. They say, well, no, it's the same for everybody. Sure, you can be a Hindu and you can jump around dancing and read Bhagavad Gita if you want, but you don't have to join a fucking cult. That's the difference. You don't have to be in a goddamn child protecting, child abusing, women hating, racist, sexist fucking cult. And if your religion is racist and sexist and it hates everybody and it's homophobic and it's all of these things, you know what? You got the wrong fucking religion. Sorry to tell you. Sorry to be the one to tell you. But you got the wrong friggin' religion. If your religion is teaching you to hate everybody, you're messed up. Covering up crimes? Covering up crimes. If your religion is telling you to cover up crimes, not report crimes, don't go to the police when a child is abused. What the fuck? You would think that a temple or a church would want the predators out. No. Why would Padma Garva be allowed to walk around the LA temple? I don't understand that. Why was he let to be felt? Why did he feel welcome there? Why did nobody ever talk about? Why didn't anybody ever tell me? I have a daughter. Why didn't anybody say, "Hey, watch out for that guy. That guy's a predator." He no, they didn't tell me until after the fact. After the people that I knew were talking about this guy like he was somebody I should go hang out with, and then I find out he's a fucking predator. And then they're going off and getting guys out of jail, breaking guys out of jail that have been sentenced to jail for being a predator, for being a sexual child abuser, and they break them out of jail. That's how important it is. That's how important just one predator is to these people. Why? Why is this guy so fucking important? No different than all of them. Why is this guru so important that you can't stand up and go, he's a friggin' scumbag? No, you all pal around with them. They all pal around together. They all go to Mayapur and hang out. They all hang out together. Bhavananda and Rameshwar and Lokanath and Indrayumna Swami. They all hang out with Bhaktivikash Swami and all of them. They all hang out together. Not one of them can say, you know what, you're a scumbag. I don't want nothing to do with you. No, no, not one. That means they're all fucking guilty. There's not one. And all the people that know, all the disciples and all the people like me that know the history, that know all this, and they're still in there and they're still protecting these guys. Friggin', it's a friggin' pedophile cult. And it's going on today. That shit has not stopped. It hasn't changed. Nobody's changed. The books are the same. The philosophy's the same. The child marriage is the same. The gopis are 11 years old. That's the same. Prabhupada is still a 22-year-old man who raped an 11-year-old girl that he said was his wife. That hasn't changed. None of that's changed. It's all the same crap. All of it. I'll show you what's going on today in Australia today. And this is from a Hare Krishna freak who runs a Hare Krishna webpage. And he documents all the crap. It's like an FBI file of all the bullshit. But he doesn't understand that he's in a cult because he thinks that it's still this great friggin' thing. Although he knows more of the bullshit than anyone else because he just catalogs all the crazy crap. And yet he doesn't see that he's in a cult of fucking insanity. Can't see it. He thinks somehow, I don't know what. But anyway, he says here, excuse me. He says here, As many of these children were destroyed, some of them have PTSD, some of them died, and almost none of them participate in the religion now. As one devotee said, the temples have almost none of the second generation even visiting once a year. They won't even come for the festivals. They are gone, and gone for good. They feel they were exploited, and they are not interested anymore. Well, of course. Who can blame them? I think that's great. They got out. They're bummed out that they don't have the second generation of kids to kick around anymore. Good, I'm glad that most of them got out and none of them go around it. Who would want to go around that friggin' place? After growing up in that and being abused your whole fucking life. He just says, many of these children were destroyed. Some of them have PTSD. Some of them died. And almost none of them participate in the religion now. Well, what do you expect? You're shocked? You're shocked that none of the kids that experienced this trauma want to have anything to do with your fucking cult? That shocks you? They have more sense than you. These kids that grew up in there being abused, they have more sense than you because you're still being abused by this cult. Don't think that the cult just abuses children. It abuses everybody. Children are just the easiest because they can't talk. They have no recourse. You try to bend me over and fuck me in the ass, I'm gonna stand up for myself. But you take an 11-year-old kid, an 8-year-old kid. What's he gonna do? They abuse everybody. Why do you think they have 75-year-old men pushing a shopping cart around Costco parking lot trying to sell books? Because they don't give a fuck. You think that guy's got Social Security, Medicare, anything like that? No, he didn't get that. Brigupati, you think he's getting Social Security? No, he's been a Hare Krishna for 60 years, selling books in a parking lot. You don't get Social Security for that. The smart ones like Svas has got a friggin' business. He's probably got 401k and stocks and gold and whatever. He's set up. He doesn't have to worry about shit. Brigupati, what the fuck's he got? Selling books. These guys in the ashrams running around selling books for their whole fucking life. Look at these idiots, man. So this is Australia. This is what's going on in Australia. Like, what the fuck is that? Playing a drum, banging some cymbals, playing with some dolls.
Devotee of Prabhupada. Shishi Radha Govindari Ki Jai.
this gauchal is to show practically to people that the cows and the bullocks are valuable element.
So they're going to sit there and they're going to promote how great they are because they take care of the cows and the cows are protected and but they don't give a shit about their children. They promote child marriage. Prabhupada says 11-year-old girls should be married to 22-year-old men, just like he did. He married an 11-year-old girl, so therefore everyone should marry an 11-year-old girl at 22 years old. He says it in the Bhagavatam. He says it. Young girls must be married to grown men. And he says that girls are grown at 11 years old. 11, 12, 13. They need to be married before they hit puberty. He says once a man gets them at 11, 12, 13, then they'll fall in love with that man and they'll love him for the rest of his life. Although that didn't happen with Prabhupada because she hated him for the rest of her life. She couldn't stand him. She hated him and she hated his books. She thought he was a jerk-off for trying to start this cult. So evidently it's supposed to work for everybody but him. Prabhupada was a failure. He was a failure at everything. Prabhupada was a failure at his. He dropped out of college, didn't get his diploma. So he was a college dropout. Didn't have a degree. He didn't have a degree in anything. He was no scholar. He was no Vedic scholar. The cult that he joined gave him the name Bhaktivedanta. So what? The cult I joined gave me the name Sri Mukunda Das. What does that have to do with anything? Who cares that he's Bhaktivedanta Swami? Lokanath Swami, Kirtanananda Swami. Kirtanananda Swami was a homosexual pedophile. He was having sex with little boys in his temple. So who cares that he got the name Kirtanananda Swami? Bhavananda was having sex with boys in Vrindavan, getting blowjobs from taxi drivers. So who cares that his name was Bhavananda Das or Bhavananda Swami? Who cares that a boy Charan Day got the name Bhaktivedanta Swami from some other cult member? Who cares? That doesn't make him a Vedic scholar. It doesn't make him a Vedic anything. It doesn't make him shit. And then he's going to go and get a job as a chemist in a pharmacy somewhere? And then he makes toothpaste that made people's teeth fall out? He was a failure at everything. Opens up his own little shop. He failed at that. Then he tries to print a magazine. He's going to print a Back to Godhead magazine. Well, that failed. How many issues of that did he print? Shit, I printed 3 issues of my magazine. Does that make me a friggin' publisher? Prabhupada failed at everything. And then he wrote these books. He couldn't sell them. He had to bring them to America and he begged a ticket. He begged a ticket. He was a fucking beggar. The only thing he was good at was begging. These people in Australia, they have no idea what they're getting into with their kids. You see those little kids there? Those little kids are in danger. How do I know they're in danger? Because this woman wrote a letter. Let's read what it says. Predator alert. I'll show you where I'm reading this from. Predator alert. So I don't know who's writing this, but it says, because they just use their initials, it says, my father, Raj Mohan, from Australia, is a pedophile. I should know he did it to me. In not so many words, he has admitted to this himself in a text message. I personally have 2 friends in New Zealand he either tried to or was successful with, and he tried it on another of my friends here. They are my age or just younger. I have told him his karma is to not be around the temples and children, but due to the support of other devotees and elders at multiple temples here in Murwillumbah, he still goes. I am still not believed, but there is no way I am still not believed, but there is no way I could risk exposing my children to him further, let alone other children in our community, so I no longer go or take my kids. My biggest fear was losing my devotee family. I realized it happened anyway, as a lot of those people I have known my whole life, I consider my extended family, my godbrothers and godsisters, and people I looked up to and thought of like aunties and uncles. Due to me speaking up to my mom about the abuse that was happening in New Zealand at Gurukula to me, she took me to confront them. We then had to move. Fellow friends were specifically told to ignore me and pretend they didn't know me when I went to the temple. I was 7 or 8. Now the same thing is happening again. When I spoke up about my father, I'm not believed by many elders in our community. I've had enough, so I am publicly outing him on social media, and there needs to be more done. In some countries, a convicted pedophile, even when they get out of jail, are not allowed around schools and parks, etc. So why do we allow them at a temple where there is children? If the GBC think they should still be allowed to worship, etc., how about a temple set up specifically for those people? That sounds crazy. Away from their victims and future. Okay, I gotta stop right there. These people are so brainwashed that they think that, well, let's set up a temple community for pedophiles so that pedophiles can be Hare Krishnas and just exist in their own pedophile Hare Krishna world. Is that insanity or not? They belong in jail. Pedophiles belong in jail, not in their own community with a temple and deities and a whole setup. That's I don't know what's going on, but that's obviously it's a pedophile cult, because even though she's talking about her father's a pedophile, he abused her, and she doesn't want to take her kids around the community, and the community standing up. I mean, everything that I've always talked about. In fact, this pretty much happened to me. It's the same thing, and now she's trying to prevent this from happening again, and it's not going so well. They don't believe her or whatever. They're turning her into the victim. So this is happening today, and the list goes as she says. I have told the police, but I'm not mentally ready to replay my video in my head of what happened to me to make a fully step-by-step replay encounter to the police. I have told the police, but they don't do anything until I fully take him to court. All they did was send me the link and said, come in when I was ready. The making a temple for them was sarcasm, but the excuses I hear from devotees are things like we should show mercy, we shouldn't spread gossip and wag our tongues. The list goes on. Okay, well, it was sarcasm and I took it as being serious, but the fact that they protect these people, she can't leave the community, she can't leave the cult, she can't see that it's a cult, even though her children are in danger. She's been abused. Her father's admitted that he's a pedophile, at least to her. All of these facts. And she still has this attachment to this cult. How dangerous this cult is. Because even though she thinks that she can remain being a devotee and her children will be safe and she'll be safe, they're not. No one will ever be safe as long as this cult exists. And the closer you are to this cult, the more in danger you are. If you go to a temple, then something's likely to happen. You take your children to the temple, something likely to happen. These people in this video, these children in this video,
It makes sense to tell people to protect the cows. Otherwise, it becomes like a sentimental or like you like the cows and I don't. It becomes that kind of approach. So practically, this building is like an educational center as well as a production center. In terms of the production.
so as you can see, there's a lot of children there. A lot of children at this at this temple community. Lots of children, and they're all in danger if they haven't already been abused. Because this woman is saying my father's an abuser and he hangs out there. He's a known pedophile. He abused me, and I won't even take my children around him. And yet he's right there in the community around all these children. And you guys aren't doing anything about it.
What a beautiful day. Amazing. Did you guys go lunch?
Do those women know that Prabhupada says that you can beat women? That there's 3 things you can beat: a drum, a dog, and a woman? Did you know that he told Narayana, yeah, you can just smack your wife around if she won't get in line? There's nothing wrong with that. And they do that. They all act happy, like they're happy, but they're segregated. The women are segregated from the men in everything they do. What kind of life is that? I mean, what is that? Is that really what they wanted to get into? Is being treated like that they're less intelligent, they like to be raped, they're lusty, get away from me. And men don't like them around. Men don't like women around in the Hare Krishna movement. Men don't want them around. Women are treated like shit. And they're brainwashed to sit there and act like they're all happy. And then the children are mistreated, and the children are done. The children are in danger, and the girls are groomed to be child brides at 11 years old, 11, 12, 13. That's what's going on. Do they know about that? All those little girls, all those little kids. Do they know about this Indra Yumna Swami that comes in and loves to just hang out with little girls like that? Grab them. I showed the video where he just sits there with his hands all over them. And the girl obviously wanted to get away from the guy. What happens when he comes to town? He comes to visit. Or Lokanath Swami, when he comes to visit. The guy that was molesting that girl that's now a woman. And but people don't want to believe this stuff. People don't want to believe that this is real. This is real. This is happening now. This lady wrote it. She wrote a letter. She's like, I gotta warn somebody. The temple won't do anything. The police won't do anything because I gotta take him to court. It's the same thing that I had to do. The police would not prosecute him because they couldn't get a confession out of the guy. They said the only thing you can do now is take him to court and press a civil suit. How am I going to get money to do that? You know, all these kids in Australia at this complex, at this school, at this center, this community, and you got a predator running around, and nobody cares. Nobody seems to care. He's got free reign on these kids. They protect the cows, but the kids, they don't give a shit about the kids. Yeah, Krishna's first business is to give pleasure to the cows. He's more concerned about the cows than he is for the kids. Those little girls are gonna grow up and be taught that women are less intelligent than men. Women like to be raped. Women are 9 times lustier than men. Women are the cause of all the problems in the world. Because men just lust after women, and then their whole mind goes crazy because they want sex. In the Hare Krishna world, anytime a man is upset or doesn't get, it's the woman's fault. They take out all their frustrations on the women. It's a friggin' sexist, misogynistic, woman-hating, pedophile-protecting cult. In Australia right now, they're protecting this guy. This guy's own daughter. She's talking about her own father. You know how horrible that must be for her to have to come out and publicly say, my dad's a pedophile, don't go around him, and he's hanging out at the temple in Australia. I don't even know this temple. I've never been there. She can't even go around the temple anymore. She's a blame the victim now, just like they did with me. It's the same story. I wasn't the first. I wasn't the last. I should say my daughter. She's not here to speak for herself, so it's the same story. I tried to speak up. I tried to say something. My daughter and I became the bad. We became the bad people. We became the bad ones because we called the police on the predator molester. We blew the whistle. And that's happening right now today. That was 30 years ago. And that's happening right now in Australia. Where this girl that was molested by her own father is now grown, has children, Her father's still hanging around, and she's trying to warn people. So I wanted to get this out here because it's the same. It's the same cult. It's the same shit. Nothing's changed. It's the same people. It's the same books. It's the same guru. It's the same gurus. Absolutely nothing has changed. Don't call the police. Don't make waves. It's disgusting. It's a disgusting fucking cult. And so that's for today. That's what we're doing today. So want to thank you everybody for watching. Stay away from the Australia Hare Krishnas, okay? Any temple. Just stay away from them. Stay away from the Hare Krishna. Stay away from Govinda's restaurant. Stay away from these freaks in the parking lots when they come up to you with a shopping cart full of books. They're racist, sexist books. Child marriage. Pedophilia and all of that stuff. Stay away from them. Tell them, say, I don't want your friggin' pedophilia books. Books that say that women are less intelligent. Women like to be raped. I don't want to say, I don't want that shit. That shit away from me. Alright, everybody. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. Get these videos out there so more people can be aware of what's going on. And keep these kids safe and away from the Hare Krishna temples. Alright, everybody. Thank you. And have a great day. How do I get out of this? Thanks, everybody. Oh, let me show you this.